What's up, amigos? So today, in the new video that the Diablo team released, we finally got confirmation and a look at the finished Paragon boards. This will be our endgame character progression after level 50 once we have used all of our initial skill points. We are then going to be getting 4 Paragon points to spend per level. So I just released a video today actually that I had already done and was ready to render out, and then we got this surprise endgame video from Diablo. This did confirm a lot of stuff that I touched on in the video, but one thing that we were unsure of was the Paragon system. Now we knew the basics, but we had no idea what it was going to look like or how it would pay out. I think one of the coolest things about the Paragon boards is once we reach our first initial gateway, we get the choice of where we can go next, and we can turn the board and start in one of 4 locations. This really does add another level of planning to each character and build, and it was mentioned that there's a possibility that Paragon boards could change every season or every few seasons a few months back.
A lot of the choices the players make are grounded on skills themselves and the fantasies associated with those skills. Paragon boards is a place where we allow you to have a lot more depth, a lot more customization, many more options as you go.
You can rotate the board, so you can choose a different path if you're like, I want to do more strength-based things, or I want these particular boons or glyphs. You can chart your path through it, and they're really...
So by base, we'll be getting 200 Paragon points when we're level 100. We don't know if we'll receive extra Paragon points from renown levels, but regardless, that's a lot of build potential. I know some people aren't as thrilled about this system as others, and I've actually read a few threads on Reddit about people thinking it's too bland. Now I have to disagree. Not only is the majority of our core stat stack going to come from Paragon points, and we don't have to waste that, affix roll on our gear, but the magic and rare and legendary nodes are going to be pivotal, I think, in crunching min to max builds. Now, one of the legendary powers that was showcased here in the video was Cheap Shot. You deal 5% increased damage for each nearby enemy that is crowd controlled up to 25%. Now, something like this with Vine Creeper on Druid Landslide is going to be insane, because Vine Creeper casts a massive AoE immobilization spell, so we can guarantee the 25% damage increase all the time when we're just out and about. Now, the glyph system is something that I'm really hoping they will touch on during our April dev stream coming up on the 20th, I believe. I'll post the tweet that Pez dropped today. I do believe it's on the 20th, but either way, I'll post it on screen. Now, I'm curious how often we will get these. The research that I've done claims that these will be drops, and there's no clarification if it's limited to World Tier 3 or not. If there is going to be multiple ways to get these, I want to know how beneficial it will be to path towards a glyph node to implement them into our build. Now, will they be absolutely useless come release and give core stats, or will they have potential to be really game-changing? Now, there were photos of glyphs, and I'll put them up on screen here, and this is early on. Now, personally, basing off the information at these that we see here, it may be pretty beneficial to path to, because these have huge scaling potentials. I mean, huge. If we look at the exploit one to begin with, now, depending on where the glyph node could be, we're looking at upwards to 30% extra damage to vulnerable targets. The radius size is medium, so if base nodes are +5 core stat, which majority of each board consists of white nodes, those nodes will turn into +7, and the +7 magic ones will turn into, let's say, 10 to round it up. It'll actually be easy to hit that 30% mark, I think. Now, also imagine if you could get one of these rare exploit glyphs and have it in a large radius instead. I mean, just read it. For every 10 dexterity purchased within the range, you deal 13.5 increased damage to vulnerable targets. Now, I think another thing worth noting in the clip here is the cost of refund. So, Rod actually just told us last week, I'll put the tweet up on the screen here, that respecs essentially won't break us. But looking at the cost of Paragon refunds, I don't know if I believe that. And before people tell me about the increased gold, percentage and torment modes, etc., but just know, Look at how much gold we went through in the beta to enchant multiple times, to reroll enchants, to rip aspects off of gear and upgrade our gear to a max of 3 or 4 levels. Costliest thing that I've had in the beta was when I upgraded my level 20 legendary weapon from 3 to 4. It cost me 80,000 gold. Imagine that on a level 75 legendary. I'm thinking it's going to be at least 500 to a million gold. Now, all in all, I'm glad we got to see this. I'm glad we finally got to see what the design looks like, the finished product. You know, we can stop speculating. We can stop, you know, wondering if it's going to look different. I can stop reading all these Reddit posts about how the UI looks ugly. I personally think it looks great. I think the system is great and we can only improve on it. I think it's nice to have a system where it gradually gets better and more powerful. The white node starting at 5 to a core stat, which moves up to +7 for a magic, and I would imagine it's +10 for a rare. Not everything has to be Diablo 3 strength related. We need to let Diablo 4 house their own unique features. And at the very least, we need to give it a proper shot before we shut it down completely. Now, are you guys excited for the Paragon board? Go ahead and let me know in the comments down below how you feel and what you're looking forward to the most come release. I'll be reviewing the video some more. There's a few other things that I really want to touch up on, and I'll save those for other videos. So until next time, amigos.